Hey, all you Avon representatives out there. It's your old buddy Molly Stone Bibb, Senior Executive Unit Leader. And I know I just did a video for you last night, Friday nights with Molly. I've had a long day. Spent a good portion of my morning and afternoon with my son and his wife and my granddaughter, and Lee and I did, and we had a great time. Tomorrow is Father's Day. It's one of those days that although my daddy is still alive and well, Dad is going to be, or I believe he just turned 82 years old. For those of you who have heard my story, or you've gotten my CD, or maybe the CD is on the way to you, something that I really don't talk too much about is after my mom died of pancreatic cancer, when I turned 16, almost 17. That episode of my life, it not only put my life in shambles when that happened, but it kind of destroyed everything that I knew as family. For quite a few years after that, was on my own from the time that I graduated, 17, almost 18. My dad remarried real soon after my mom died, within months. And it just kind of shook the foundation of everything that I knew. And not just me, the rest of my family too. But that was a time in my life when I felt dreadfully alone, and I was so angry at God that I didn't really feel his presence in my life then either. And, you wonder why you go through things in your life. You wonder why when holidays come up or things like Father's Day, and look, I've put a lot of stuff with my dad to rest. I boxed with God and my dad about that for many years. I realized that during the years that I had my mom, that my mom kind of put my dad on a pedestal and made him out to be probably what he really wasn't. And what my dad's given me in the last 10 years of my life or whatever is probably all he's able to give me. It's one of those relationships where when you go to the Hallmark store and you're looking for a card and you start talking about, how your dad's always been there your whole life for you, and you're like, no, that's not the one. And then you want to talk about this tight-knit relationship that you have and that you're daddy's girl, that wasn't the one. And so I always end up getting like a funny card, and even some of those don't always fit. But, I always thought that there was something wrong with me. I always thought that the reason the relationship was bad with my dad and I, or it wasn't really even bad, we just kind of didn't have one. It seemed like he always chose everything except me and my brothers. But I was the only girl, so I think it kind of affected me kind of badly for a long time. And I still live with some of that, but now, all this time forward, and I reflect on the fact that my dad only lives about 15 or 20 minutes from me, but rarely do we see each other. But when I do, I try to make the best of it. He's more like some man that I know in my life that when I'm with him, I try to have a good time so that I've got some decent memories of him. But I've always kind of been jealous of all the people who, talk about how wonderful it is to be daddy's girl and be someone special to that first man in your life. I remember hearing my mom tell me the stories about how special I was to my dad when I was little, and reality is I can't really remember too many of those. As long as I was doing what he wanted me to do, it was okay. But, who knows why things were the way they were. But this I do know. Here I am almost on Father's Day again. And there's a lot of people who've never had the benefit of having a father, period. Some of you out there, you may not know what it is to even feel anything, good or bad, from a father. But I want you to know that for those out there who have a great dad in your life, that's great. And I think, hold on to it and hug them every breath that they take and be eternally grateful. But because there are people out there like myself who, I haven't had a mom since I was 16. And my dad's been around, but I haven't really had him. But somewhere along the line, it's kind of made me, almost at 50 years old, I am 6 days away from turning 50. And along the way, it's made me a stronger individual. And what happens is when you don't have these certain relationships, it's so easy just to sit and dwell on them and let them eat you up with anger and resentment and all of that good stuff. And I lived with that for a long time. But then I think about, I have so many other family members, my brothers who I love dearly. And, I have nieces and nephews, and I have two wonderful in-laws, mom and dad, Bib, and I've got a great husband. So in the end, my life has kind of come together. I have, my two sons and a granddaughter and, a daughter-in-law that I am so grateful for because we get along. My nieces are like sisters. So I have a great family thing going on. They can be weird and messed up a lot, so dysfunctional. But it keeps it kind of fun and alive, so it's okay. But this is what I've come to realize. We have this great thing here in the Onward group. My team who is part of it. And we all don't talk all the time, but we have this great Facebook community out there. And, I always kid about being the adopted mama of the group and, Lee kind of being the papi of the group, and that we're there to help as many Avon representatives as we can, trying to give out advice and the conference calls and the YouTube videos and just answering questions if we can. And we love doing it for the team, but we love doing it for all those people who either don't have an upline that's working with you, or you're just looking for something a little bit more. And sometimes it's not so much about that. It's just that relationship, man. Most of us, we haven't even met in person, but it's just such great relationships to grab a hold of and be very grateful because, see, I truly believe that this Avon thing, for all of us out there, that this has been brought into our lives for a reason. And where some of us are lacking in so many different areas, whether it's the relationship and the man or woman in your life, or maybe you don't feel like you're worthwhile, or that you can get anything done. And so many of you have said, oh, Molly, I've tried the Save On thing 1, 2, 3 times, and here I am the 4th time. And, I feel that I don't get as discouraged now because I just, come to the group and I listen to your calls and I watch your YouTube videos. And you know what I think? I think that I just don't think I could have been as good at that if I didn't have these other things that I went through. You hear me say all the time, it's the journey. Onward. Remember, I got that tattoo on my foot, and that's what it says. It's the journey. Onward. Ow, I'm still feeling it. It's still not completely healed. But the pain of your life and what you go through is something like the pain of a tattoo. But in the end, it can bring you something very memorable that you can rely on, that you can look to, that you can remember, that no matter what pain you went through, that leaves you with something great as you keep going on. And that's what we have. So I want you to realize what we have as Avon sisters and brothers what we have. I am so excited to be going to Hawaii and celebrating with the Avon reps for increases, the top sellers, the other senior executive unit leaders. To be able to meet some of them, although I feel like I know them now, to meet so many of them for the first time in person and make the bonding experience even stronger. But what we have with technology today and being able to feel like a family, it may be Father's Day tomorrow, and for those that choose to have it and have anything with them, celebrate it. Happy Father's Day for all the ones who have great husbands who are daddies to your kids. Celebrate it. But don't forget during every holiday, for those of you who feel like, man, my dad's gone and I wish he was here, or you don't have a relationship with your dad really, maybe, or maybe you had a fight with your husband or your boyfriend. You never know what's going on. But remember, we're all family here. We're all after the same thing. Success, fun, being able to feel like we have a sense of accomplishment, and the friendship. The friendship and the family feeling that we have. And it's not just a feeling, it's true. It's what we have. So I just want to say thank you. My birthday is coming up on June 21st, and I will be in Hawaii for that. I'm so excited to be celebrating with some of the best people in the world. And knowing that we're kind of taking you all with us on Facebook and YouTube, and here I am snotting with you guys again. Can you believe it? But I wanted to reach out and not make it so much a learning experience, but to say I'm very grateful for all of you. Whether we agree, whether we don't agree, isn't that the fun of it? That we have something together. We all have this common goal, and that's Avon. And we can't forget that. No matter how much of a bad day we have with it or what goes wrong, it's worth it, guys. We are a family here. And I just felt like coming back here and just telling you that I appreciate you. You all are always telling me how much you appreciate me and how much you appreciate Lee. So I'm thanking God for the journey, as hard as it's been sometimes. And tomorrow's hard for me with neither parent really in my life. But I have to celebrate the family I have that wants to be in my life, and my adopted family, and my team. You guys are awesome. So have a great day tomorrow. I don't know how much Lee and I will be on Facebook. I have a lot of stuff to get ready for Hawaii. But just so you know, I love you. I love being there for you. And hopefully we will talk more to you when we were in the great state of Hawaii. Okay? Thanks a bunch. Talk to you guys soon. Bye. Onward, no matter what.